We all know 6'8" has been the meta height on NBA 2K26, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the best and most optimized 6'8" build with anywhere between 8 to 10 cap breakers. This is simply the better version of my 6'7" two-way sharpshooter that, as you can see, has been absolutely dominating NBA 2K26 so far. I currently shoot over 80% with a 96 win percentage, so you know you can trust me when it comes to these builds. All I ask is to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you make this build or you just want to support me and help me out. But let's just get right into the build. Alright, so let's get into the 6'8" build. So the first thing you got to do is you want to be a shooting guard, 6'8" obviously, 186 pounds, which is exactly 1 pound more than the minimum weight. And then with minimum 6'8" wingspan, you are the point guard. Steals aren't that great this year, so minimum wingspan does not matter that much. Now, we're going to get into the builder, and like I said, this is obviously optimized for cap breakers, and the first thing I'm going to do is come down to ball handle. Now, I know you can make builds where your ball handle is at 70 or 75. Like, I see people make this build right here where they put their speed with ball at 75 and their ball handle at 70, and then they use 5 cap breakers to get that to 86. I don't like that. I think speed with ball is the most important stat for a point guard this year because how fast you are with the ball. And then ball handle from 75 to 86 is just not possible with 5 cap breakers on this build for some reason. And I honestly think that is a waste of cap breakers because the attributes are not that valuable. So just go ahead and put your ball handle and speed with ball all the way up to an 86 and an 80. And then put your pass accuracy to the magic number, the best attribute in this game, 71 pass accuracy. We're going to show you guys the badges, but I'm telling you, you don't need a build. If you play Park, if you play Fives, Rec, Pro, I mean, it's different. If you play Park, you don't need to go higher than 71 pass accuracy, I promise. Next, we're going to come over to our physicals, and if you guys have seen any of my build videos, you know that I think speed and agility are 2 of the most important stats in the game. So you're going to go ahead and do 89 speed, and you're going to go ahead and put your agility up to an 87 as well. People really sleep on these stats and forget about them, but I promise 2 of the most important attributes in this game. And then strength, we're going to go ahead and put our strength all the way up to a 73, because at 73, as you guys see, you get strong handle gold, and we will have immovable enforcer once we put our perimeter defense up. And that matters not only when you're playing defense and bumping people, but strong handle, you can push defenders off you if they're playing way too high. So it actually is pretty important to have that amount of strength. Next, you guys know we got to do 3-point. We're going to go ahead and max out our 3-point to a 92. Even though we're going to apply cap breakers, we're still going to put our 3-point all the way up to a 92, and then we're going to go ahead and put our mid-range up to a 91. And this is where we are going to put our first cap breakers. As of right now, I have 8 cap breakers, but I'm very close to having 9 and even 10 when I hit the next rep and when I get my finish my build specialization. So I'm only making this with 8 cap breakers in mind as of right now. So what you're gonna do is put 5 cap breakers on your mid-range to get this to a 96. And the reason why you want this at 96 is very simple. You see, you come over to Shifty Shooter, and at a 96 mid-range is when you unlock Shifty Shooter on Hall of Fame, and then we're going to use one of our max +1 badges, and we're going to put that on Legend. Shifty Shooter is by far the best shooting badge in the game this year with how broken and overpowered fades are. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get our mid-range to a 96, put 5 cap breakers there. And then we're going to go ahead and put our driving dunk up to a 75. The reason why you put this to 75 is because that is when you unlock the Devin Booker dunk package. I don't go for contested dunks. I'm not going for posterizers. If you are an ISO player, you might want this higher if you want to get posters. But even if you are an ISO player, you don't need that. Just put your driving dunk to a 75 and then buy the Devin Booker dunk package. And that is the only thing you need to equip. It is the fastest and most unblockable dunk package in the game. But don't forget, with 75 driving dunk, you also need a 60 vertical for that dunk package. So 60 vertical, 75 driving dunk for the Devin Booker dunk package, and then standing dunk up to a 40. And then you equip the 2-hand standing dunk. And those are the only dunk packages that I will ever equip on this game, is Devin Booker and the 2-hand standing dunk packages, because both of them, I'm not going to say is completely unblockable, because you obviously you can get blocked if they play it absolutely perfectly, but I would say they are the most unblockable dunk packages you can use. And then next, we're going to come over to our perimeter defense, and you guys know how this game is. You need high perimeter, and we're going to put our perimeter up to a 92 as of right now. And then we are going to use our last 3 cap breakers. Keep in mind, I'm using 8 cap breakers for this build. We're going to be putting 5 on mid-range and then 3 on perimeter defense to get this to a 95 perimeter defense. Then come down to your steal, and I know steal isn't great this year, but I put it up to a 73 so that you can get silver interceptor, because even though glove and plucks aren't good this year, passing lanes are still pretty good. So put that up to a 73 so you get silver interceptor and you just get better passing lane animations. And then from here, you can do whatever you want. You see you're a 98, your build is basically finished. What I would do is I would honestly just throw this last attribute on agility, get that up to an 88, and then if you play rec or pro-am, obviously go ahead and put your free throw up. If not, just put the rest on your rebounding, and then all you have left is free throw. Get that to a 68, and that is the 6'8" build that I will be making. This is literally my 6'7" two-way sharpshooter, the build that I've been playing every single game on, but instead of 6'7", you are 6'8", and you will have slightly better attributes because my two-way sharpshooter was made before I unlocked all my cap breakers, so it wasn't optimized. But this build is optimized with the cap breakers. I'm going to go over it one more time. So we're going to start off with our 3-point and mid-range. 92 3-point because the main thing I do is fade from 3, so having that at 92 is perfect. I know at 93 3-pointer you get silver limitless range, but it's just not possible to get on a 6'8". Next, mid-range shot, 91. This is where you are going to use 5 cap breakers to get your mid-range all the way up to a 96 midi, because at 96 midi you will get every single shooting badge on Hall of Fame. Deadeye, Set Shot Specialist, and Shifty Shooter all on Hall of Fame, so you can get all of them on Legend with your Max +1 or Max +2 badges. Next, ball handle and speed with ball. Now, I've never been super high on having high ball handle this year. On my 6'7" two-way sharp, I only have an 81, but honestly, there's really nowhere else to put the attributes, and getting that silver ankle assassin is actually pretty clutch, because you can get some ankle breakers when you spam that Vince Carter move, which is my favorite move. So I'm actually going to try out the 86 ball handle and see how I like it. I would recommend doing this as well. You don't need to. If you don't want 86 ball handle, put it to 81 and adjust the build accordingly. But I think 86 is the move. 80 speed with ball. I know a lot of people go 75, but I just genuinely value this stat so much. Being as fast as possible when you're running with the ball as the point guard is super important in my eyes. And then 71 pass accuracy, by far the best attribute stat on this game. If you play Park, you do not need to go higher than 71. I promise you, you do not need to go higher than this. 92 perimeter defense, and this is where we will use our last 3 cap breakers to get this to a 95 perimeter defense. So you are a extremely good defender if you end up giving up the ball. And then a 73 steal. And I know some people might think interior or block matters. Guys, I've been playing 2K for 10 years. As a guard, these stats don't matter. Even if somebody goes up on you in the paint, if you can test the shot, they will most likely miss. Next, your rebounding. I don't value offensive rebound because I don't really play with poppers. My centers don't shoot, so I'm really never in the paint on offense. But you will need defensive rebound because you're going against a lot of poppers. You're going to need to be able to get the rebound against these other builds going for their offensive rebounds. Next, your physicals. I already told you guys speed and agility are the 2 most important stats. Not the 2 most important, some of the 2 most important stats in this game that a lot of people actually sleep on. So I went with max speed, 88 agility, and when I get this last build specialization cap breaker, I'm going to apply it to agility to get an 89 agility, and then 73 strength for that gold strong handle, bronze immovable enforcer, and then 60 vertical, which pairs with the 75 driving dunk, which gets you the Devin Booker dunk package, which is by far the best dunk package in the game, and then a 40 standing dunk, so you get the 2-hand standing dunk package, which is the only standing dunk you should equip. And that's it. This is the most optimized, best 6'8" build I could make. This is the build I'm going to be making instead of using my 2-way 6'7" sharp. And you see, it's low-key a catfish build, a 2-way ISO sniper, because you can ISO on this build. You just aren't going to get contact dunks. You can ISO extremely well. but that's not how I'm gonna play on him. But yeah, that's the 6'8" build right there. Let me know what you guys think of it. And I'm gonna show you guys, as of right now, on my 6'7" two-way sharp, these are the badges that I'm using on my max +1 right here. You can copy this if you want. Obviously, it's going to be extremely similar with my 6'8". They are very, very similar builds, except the 6'8" is, one, the meta height. It seems like everybody likes 6'8s more. And two, it is optimized with cap breakers. So follow these, copy this if you want. So let me know what you guys think of the build. And like I said, it's not an ISO build, but it can ISO if you want. This build is honestly the best of both worlds. That's gonna wrap up the video. If you guys did enjoy this video, do me a favor, drop a like, sub if you're new, and I'm out.